device, it's possible to check. And I do happen to have a second device. I had a third device actually. Then also we'll go live on the TikTok over here. So shout out to Instagram. We don't need to do too much as far as the intro because it doesn't get posted. But it is streaming to like YouTube's or whatever. So for that, this is a stream with Sultan and myself. Sultan's manager of IMC Nation, AZD IMC Nation Instagram, manager of IMC Base One Instagram. And there's been a lot of comments, a lot of questions, and a lot of new audience also. So we're also streaming to these other platforms, Stoic Temple YouTube and the Facebook groups, and also TikTok I'm going to set up right now. I kind of jumped the gun going ahead and starting the live, but whatever. That's what it is. Okay. Lots of new followers over here too. What's going on? So this is, the title is shorter on TikTok. So this would be, it's audience Q&A, but it's really to go out with master pickup artist. It doesn't fit. To W/master pickup artist. Just one character too short. Okay, we'll change 2 to the number 2 to go out with master pickup artist. Perfect.
On the Instagram, it's not split screen how it was last time.
All right, so let me
videos
see. It's in gallery, so we're gonna change it to speaker now. So now I'll watch it change. It'll take a half a minute before it lags.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice. Doesn't it look good like that?
Yeah, looks way better.
I'm a little off camera now, but that's fine. Now I'm live on TikTok also. Okay, we'll start in a second here. Or do you have any intro words you'd like to share?
Well, yeah, you've did most of the intro. If you guys have questions, it's good to type them here. And, if you guys didn't know, there's a daily class 7 days a week that AZD, the guy with all the tattoos that you guys see in these clips, teaches. And we just had a free open class. It was today at 10 a.m. But classes every day at 10 a.m. All the classes are recorded in a vault, over several hundred recordings. And, if you'd like to attend one of those classes, because the clips, a lot of these clips that you guys are listening to, watching, they're taken from that class. So if you'd like to attend one of those classes, just hit up whoever was on any of these accounts that you guys see, whatever account you're watching this from, hit up that account. And either Yogi Chris or myself will get you on the next free class so you can check it out for yourself. Glad I found you. I'm tapped in, you bro. Keep up your good job. This is what's needed. Yeah, for sure, man. Well, tap in with one of the open classes. Like I said.
Yes, sir.
Hit up one of these accounts. Yeah, tap in with one of the open classes. Get some free notes. We have a free book of notes that were written were written by Yogi Chris, and they're notes of AZD's lectures from his lectures. Those are really good. You're going to want to read those for sure. If you guys like the clips, the notes are going to blow your mind. If you like the notes, the lectures that the clips are taken from are going to blow your mind. So
yeah, that makes sense. In a lot of ways, the notes are kind of like the written version of clips, so to speak. I guess that's more what AZD's posts are, but there's a difference between like if AZD, because for those that don't know, Sultan and I live with AZD, and we've lived with Arash for over 3.5 years now. We're about to move to Las Vegas with him. And that's a big thing. That's like 9-10 hour drive away from we established ourselves here in 3.5 years. And now we're, picking up and moving with a top player, top player. Like a lot of the coaches you guys listen to or may know of on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube have learned from AZD, continue to learn from AZD behind the scenes. They're secret because they would lose their whole audience if they, said where they're really getting it from. Top G. So living with the top G, like I was thinking earlier, as we were talking about writing a book on the experience of being with AZD, and I'm just reflecting on, all the drugs I did and experiences with that, all the yoga teachers I met and some tremendous, like, enlightening experiences with that, the wrestlers I grappled with, Olympic champions, Olympians, world champions, national champions at college, academics and this and that, and just all these impressive people that I had been around and impressive experiences, near death experiences in Boy Scouts, like looking over the cliff edge of like 200 meters down kind of thing. And it's just like, the experience of being in field with a guy that knows how to talk to women of all variety and of the highest beauty. But, so many other things, seeing how that comes out in how he teaches the kids classes in martial arts, or how he deals with someone who's borderline psychotic, like literally like psycho. Amazingly, like it's not aggressive as he would appear. It's just the way he talks to them. It like quells their anger. They like dim down. They don't, but not in like he defeats them. It's more like he contains the situation. It's like a big explosion, and he's like a force field around it that like contains it. And so I intro with all those other ideas because I'm not a nobody who's trained with nobodies saying the greatness of AZD. Like I have a lot of comparisons to contrast it with. And why I was saying that is because there is so why I say about the clips and the writing, or like the written version of these clips that are so powerful, is there's a difference between AZD when he picks up a video and records himself make a promo video, versus he's in the flow of a bigger lecture that we take a clip out and it captures the kind of the essence of the delivery that he's giving to like 40 live guys or 50 live guys or something, versus him holding a camera to himself and he's just talking into the camera. Both are good, but it's going to be different. So that's like the difference between him writing a post and some transcription or taking notes of something he says when he's in the flow of something. It's different. It's different if you tried to write something down versus you say something in the flow of something and someone else transcribes it down exactly what you said. They capture a little bit different essence of what was being said. And it is a lot like, it's a perfect analogy, really, of, the only way it would be more perfect is if you used like AI to exactly transcribe what he says. There's errors in my notes, and that's why it says notes by Yogi Chris. It's not AZD's notes, because of course I don't get it exactly accurate. But the essence of a lot of the things, they helped me. They've helped a lot of guys. Hundreds of people have bought the notes. So we give a little 5-page free ebook. So you can, as like a bathroom reader, it'll take you like 20 minutes to read these 5 pages of really densely packed notes from AZD's lectures. And you'll be like, whoa, what did I just read? You had never read anything like that before. Is that a real for you, Sultan, when I say that?
No, I'm getting what you're saying, but I'm reading this guy's comment. It's funny.
Oh, okay. I thought I was being funny. All right. Well, let's talk about the comment. Oh, the guy on live here.
Man, your live notifications are pissing me off. I get notifications about it all day. Mad annoying. I like the guy, but damn, go get work. Go to work, nigga.
Well, that's what we should be saying to you. You keep jumping on these lives. You need to go to work. What are you doing? You don't realize that we are at work right now. We are working. What are you doing? You're jumping on a live or whatever. And you'd be missing out if you want to turn off your notifications. Of course, that's within your control. You can just do that. But I think you know that you'd be missing out on something. Now, occasionally, we are live with AZD, like AZD's there. And that's why I say you'd be missing out. But, that's not always available. And there's lots of other reasons to be on this, because Sultan and I have a wealth of knowledge. It's not easy to live. It wouldn't be easy to grapple with the #1 wrestler in the world for 3.5 years and be his training partner and his comrade and his teammate and everything and not get good at grappling. It'd be impossible to, if Michael Jordan was taking you along with him, you might not ever be pro level, but you got to have something going for you. Physical training, sprints, diets, weightlifting. Like if Michael Jordan's going to have you in his entourage, you're good. So you should look on myself as something like that.
Stay Blazing says, show the females y'all be talking about. Where are they at?
The link is in the bio. Go to the link.
No. You said, yeah.
Yeah, go to the link in the description. Sorry, the description is in the bio. Go to all the accounts there. This is a business account, and I'm not trying to give some girl so much free publicity. Our personal profiles are in the account, so you can go and see the bitches and hoes. All right? And I don't even perceive that guy as a hater at all, because that's the truth. He wants to see some girls. Now, but you may be used to coaches that flaunt women. They hire models, or their girls are really loose and they're not really their women. And so they're always like on screen with them and they're doing like scandalous things with them and scanty like outfits or whatever. that might be what you're used to, and that's a different level of ethic of relationship. But if you want the top player's ethic of relationship and how he handles women and how he is the head of his relationships, then I invite you to check out the personal profiles and welcome to a different universe of relating with women. Much more natural, much stronger, better. That's what I have to say to that. Calipack likes that. I can tell Calipack is on and he likes that. Calipack is one of your guys is from the direct game community of like direct approach or whatever. And he's day by day, month by month, coming over to the dark side of indirect seduction. It takes a demon of seduction to go indirect. Church boy would go direct. But for a church boy to go indirect and understand all the subtleties of, I'm going to ensnare this woman over 3 or 4 or 7 hours of friendship, even though I'm not being weak, beta, asexual, non-sexual. I am still touching. I am still introducing topics of that. I am still flirting, but I'm okay with the delay of sensual gratification so that I can totally lasso this woman's mind and just tie her up like bondage. Shabiro. What is it? Shibari. Tie her mind up like Shibari with all of our open threads until when I'm ready to pull or yank on the rope, she comes. That's indirect game. And that takes a demon of seduction. A man of light, a light guy, he has to do the direct game because he's too uncomfortable with indirect. But that's how weak that is because you need that instant pleasure. You can't just like seduce a woman over 9 months. What's up? Man, I'm excited from AZD's talk that he just gave. Everybody, you may have missed the free class that just happened with AZD. So the dude that's commenting like, where's the dude? You guys are going live. Dude, well, we went live right before AZD's class. Where were you then? You're obviously not working too much anyway, or you have an easy job that you can go live, join our live. You missed AZD's lecture. It was free. So that was so powerful. I feel so good from that. The mindset is everything, everybody. Mindset is everything. Man, Sultan, I'm just going to monologue, bro. What are we talking about? Going out with AZD? Because tonight we're going out with AZD.
Comments. I want to handle these comments, bro. These comments. Just go read the artist seduction.
What's the next comment? What's the next comment? We'll get to the topic, everybody.
There's a lot of guys that read that book and they don't know anything about that book.
Read what book?
Art of Seduction. You guys can go read that book all day, but you're not going to be able to apply it.
What's he saying about it?
He's just saying go read it.
Who's saying that?
Just comments. Go read them. Like, stay blazing link tattoos.
Just go read The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. Yep. But what will that do for you? I'm curious. Stay blazing. If you would reply, just go read The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. What will be different in your experience of life since you? It sounds like you've read it. First, have you read it? And if you have, what's different about your game with women? Like, do you have more girlfriends? Do you have deeper, better relationships? Like, what's your current condition? Because yes, like Sultan said, 1 million people have read that book. I don't see 1 million seducers out there. I don't know. Maybe it's like all things where it's like 1% of people that read it really get it. I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, it's all right advice. It's definitely one of the Bibles in IMC Nation, but it's like one of 50 or 60 Bibles in IMC Nation. And that's the ingredients that go into the concoction that AZD is. And those are his references of books to read. So if it's just go read Art of Seduction, I'm wondering what your stats are with women because, there's also 59 other texts. So I don't think it's just Art of Seduction unless you're better than AZD. Maybe, I don't know. That's why I'm curious. Because if you are, I'm open. Sultan, you should know I'm open to discovering a man better than AZD in seduction. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think everybody is.
Okay, good. Just making sure that you knew that. And everybody should know. I'm open to someone coming along that's better. So if Blazin or whatever his name is, if you're better or you know someone better, man, turn us on to that idea. Don't hold it to yourself. But let's see when he replies. Is there another comment, Sultan?
Past can only be remembered. Brother, I don't understand your question. First, you're saying you've been using AZD's advice, but you can't treat American women like you do in the Philippines. I asked you why not. You said because they don't deserve it, because they're submissive and more feminine than American women. That's why you have to be significantly more alpha than them. But in the Philippines, you can just be yourself. They're not into Chads and Tyrones.
That makes sense.
If you try to act like them, they will lose. You will lose.
That makes sense. Well, Chads and Tyrones are generic, like a white guy and a black guy. And what he's saying is basically he can't submit alpha. He can't submit American women, but he can submit the locals. It sounds like, and I appreciate his honesty there because I agree the dynamic between and notice Sultan the agreement. I agree that you want a woman to be submissive with you, and she has to look up to you, higher value, all that stuff. What you said. So it sounds like the local women are looking up to you. You're being yourself, but the foreign women who are more experienced with higher value men, Chads and Tyrones, and so to speak, that you can't submit them. They don't submit to you, and so you prefer, the local women. And I get that. I think you should, stay in your community unless you want to, ascend more. Then there's more available. Now, for someone like you, if you studied AZD, you would absolutely wreck shop in the Philippines. We have several guys that watch Arash from the Philippines. There's less than a handful that I know the money is different in the Philippines. So it's the wealthy couple or the guys that, are in real estate and make a little more money than usual that can sign up from the Philippines. But there's also free YouTube, there's free ebooks, there's hundreds of clips here on this channel. And, if you're smart and ambitious, you can use everything we give out for free to make more money with it. For sure. Right, Sultan?
Yep.
The same game applies to money if you use it right. So then you could join class and then you could become the AZD of Philippines. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that, Sultan?
I think that's accurate. And whole thing with Chads and Tyrones, that's like a subculture, like a meme. I remember when that first was starting, the whole Chad
Really?
thing.
I've never heard that actually.
Whole meme. It's a whole meme that started, I think, on 4chan image board. So a lot of guys probably don't know that.
Was I right that it's a white guy and a black guy?
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's like an archetype, and Chads are very chiseled and masculine looking, but that doesn't mean that the guy is alpha. There's a lot of guys that are very good looking. Huh?
What's a Tyrone then? Is he chiseled? I imagine a Tyrone chiseled.
Tyrone is basically a black guy that's a Chad. Like it's a black version of a chiseled.
Black Chad.
Yeah, like and I think just because the guy is chiseled or he's got muscles doesn't mean he's alpha. Like that's what it sounded like in the comment that he was saying. That's
a genetically superior a genetically superior person.
Yeah,
I get
but
that.
Doesn't mean he's alpha.
Yeah, it just means he's got maybe quote alpha genetics for his physical body.
Good genetics for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, well, so I probably just said a whole bunch of words that didn't matter to
No, it didn't matter. I think because I don't think he gets that just because the guy's a Chad. Because he was saying like alpha is not going to work, like Chads and this and that don't work there, is what it seems like from his comment. And
so stay blazing. Curious, stay blazing. It's not a book you read; it's a book you study. So what's different about your life? Go read The Mastery by Robert Greene. You're giving a lot of book references, but I wonder if you'd be willing to go live. If you'd like to go live with our Instagram, I wonder if we can do that because we're streaming through Zoom right now. So yeah, and you're recommending The Five Rings. I mean, that's another good book. But who are you? Do you have?
I got that book. That's funny. I have both of the books that he recommended right here. It's pretty funny.
Really? So I'm curious about the guy. Does he get girls or whatever? Anyway. Okay, so I think that's all the comments. Or are there more?
Right now, that's it.
Okay, so we're going out with AZD tonight. We live in San Jose with AZD. Both Sultan and I live with AZD, what's called Base 1. There is currently 7 bases. These are houses where 3 to 8 individuals live together. Men that are in IMC Nation that have been studying with AZD. They've passed the vetting process, so they have a certain level of discipline. They have jobs that, clean, this and that. And then, of course, the guys that live at the base, because somebody has to sign the lease, they want those other individuals there also. So they must be cool in some way. Not everybody's cool in the same way. I was a hella nerd dork, but I'm cool in the fact that, like, I know how to fight. I'm ethical. I'm a hard worker. That's actually pretty cool because I would take that over, and I want to get better. Like, I would take that over a cool guy that doesn't want to get better, that's not ethical. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually cool to be those things. It's just not socially cool. So I had to learn to be socially cool. And I'm still learning, right? Everybody out there is probably like, you're still not cool, Chris. I don't care. My 3 girlfriends think so. And I make a lot of money doing it. So that's just what it is. Stats. So we're going out with AZD tonight because we're leaving. The bases are all relocating to Las Vegas. There are two already in Las Vegas, but now base 1 and 2 in San Jose, base 3 in Los Angeles, base 6 in Los Angeles, base 5 in Phoenix are all moving to Vegas. And then there's base 4 and 7 that are already in Vegas. So we're going to have a lot of guys there. AZD leading the movement and running the trainings, and we have a fight center with them. It's all very exciting. So this weekend is our last weekend in San Jose, where we've been living with him for 3.5 years. The first year we lived with him was lockdown. So there wasn't much socially going on. We did a lot of Tinder game and whatever, and we did a lot of working out. And it was really a very cool time. A very cool time. We could get into that another day. And then the world started opening up, and we really got into strip club game. We were hella hitting up the strip clubs because still we're in liberal California, so a lot of the girls still weren't going out, and there wasn't much to do. So the most girls and most girl interactions we'd get, like if we went out as a group, would be at a strip club. So we really got into stripper game. And for a few months, and AZD, got a few stripper girlfriends. These guys got with some strippers. I didn't get with stripper actually. I went on some dates, but I had my other girls outside the strip club, and I didn't make it. Whatever. It's limited, and I vibe with some, but whatever. And so then moving forward, the world continued opening up more. We started a business. We went out a lot more, blah, blah, blah. Lately, in the last 2 or 3 months, we've been making trips, bi-monthly trips to Los Angeles because we have our bases down there. We're going to create down there. San Jose is expensive, and it's real distant from everything. And so we were building Los Angeles and Hollywood. Now it becomes apparent we should move to Vegas because of taxes and real estate. And of course, it's the pickup center of America, at least. AZD is #1 artist in America for that. So we're moving the whole movement there. And this weekend is our last weekend in San Jose. So we'll be going out with a bang. Tonight is usually Friday, Saturdays. Saturdays we go out. In Vegas, it'll be a lot more frequent. But here, it's very interesting. So that's just kind of like setting the stage. Sultan and I will kind of go over a little bit like how we prep to go out because it's important. AZD is #1 in the world, and his rep is everything. His game is rep game. So he builds social rep. That's how you have multiple relationships with the finest women in an area, especially like San Jose, where it's not like a party hub where people are just coming and going, is you got to have high rep. And so he's not going to do things low value that destroy his rep. And so when we go out with him as a crew, we also can't be destroying his rep. So we had to learn how to be out with him. And that's what Sultan's going to go into now. What's up?
The question is how we are when we go out with him.
Well, whatever I was talking about.
Well, going out with him, there's a lot of calibrations that happen when you go out with a group of guys. Well, I guess maybe not for the people watching this.
Because yeah, especially when in the group of guys you have the #1 player on Earth. Then there's a lot of calibrating.
Yeah, for guys that are new to this, it's nothing like you've ever seen because when you're going out with your friends, you guys are just not in sync. Like there's no coordination. You're going out. We're coordinated. We know what time we're gonna leave. We know what time everyone's gonna be in the car. We know what time we're gonna get there. We know what restaurant we're going to. We know we're gonna sit. Like we have an idea where we're gonna sit. We can't just be like, here, we're gonna sit there. But we have an idea where we're gonna sit, where we're gonna drink, what we're gonna order. Like that's all planned out. How many drinks we're gonna have.
Why is that so important? Because that's not real for a lot of guys. They're like, why are you being so uptight about it?
Yeah, it's definitely not being uptight. It's there's a lot of reasons. One, for example, a lot of guys I'm sure have been in a situation where you're at a table with your friends, you guys are ordering food, and waitress comes up, she's pretty. And you guys are like hemming and hawing, like, oh, I don't know if I want. Actually, I think I'm going to get the #3. No, I don't want that one. Do you guys, did there ketchup on that? No? Okay. Do you guys have anything that's like fried? Like you sit in there for like 5 minutes trying to figure out what you want. And like, you just look so indecisive to the girl. So good luck having any other positive, you could say interaction with her because you already demonstrated that you're indecisive when you're ordering your food. And that's just like one aspect of it. But if we're talking like why be so sharp like that? Well, I would ask you, what's the effect you're creating when you're doing the opposite? Like when you're not so sharp like that, you're just kind of like you're basically a product of the environment. You're the effect of the environment. You're not the cause. You're just kind of like just waiting for the next thing to happen. Like you're waiting for the waitress to come up to get. You're waiting for her to ask for your order so you can figure out what you want. You know, you're just going to the car, you're randomly meeting up at a random time without even knowing when your friends are going to show up, and you guys are showing up at different times, walking in. Like it's not coordinated like this. And you know how you do one thing is how you do everything. So we can tell very quickly, like if you guys are showing up super sloppy and late or getting drunk and stuff like that, we can tell how probably the other aspects of your life are going if that's how you're behaving when you're out. And
what are some things, I'm curious, Sultan, what are some ways that you, because this is all real sharp and disciplined and how we move, our coordination, like timings and everything. And that's, you know, the reality is we are sharp like military, but with our lives, with our casual civilian lives, we treat it military. This is because we're studying from a warrior player, a demon of
yeah,
seduction that is a warrior romancer. And that's what AZD is. That's the character and the archetype. So, you know, we'll build a little reality. As you guys attend these lives, you'll get more and more reality. As you watch the clips, you get more and more reality on what lifestyle we're talking about. So I'm curious from Sultan, what are some ways that you prepare beforehand, let's say from now or even just an hour and a half before? Like, how do you, what are the things that you do to go out? If you're willing to share, maybe you keep a few secrets, but to go
yeah.
out with AZD, and then maybe some people can get a little higher reference of what we're talking about.
Yeah, man, like preparing to go out is probably one of my favorite things to do. And you know, I like to start the whole thing.
I'm gonna learn now. Everybody
Yeah,
notice the ropes behind Sultan with the nunchucks around her neck. Everybody notice. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. What I do first is I pick some sort of I imagine some sort of character, either something that I've seen before or something that I just make up in my mind, and some world that that character is in, and I start my process, you can say, of like taking a shower, you know, getting clothes ready, things like that, with that imaginative character in mind and that fantasy world in mind as I'm doing these things. Like, you know, as I'm picking out like what I already know I'm going to wear, but as I'm going to grab it and get it all together, I imagine this world and what this character would be doing, what this character would look like, what it would sound like, how it would interact with other people, how it would stand, how it would breathe, and I practice embodying that character in that moment as I'm grabbing everything to get ready. And that's the beginning of it. And my practice throughout getting ready is just keeping that image in mind, keeping, like I said, how it breathes, how it moves, how it speaks, you know, how it communicates with women, like, you know, what kind of women are attracted to this character. Like I create a whole world for this character. And that's
Yeah,
just what I
yeah.
go off of. So that's the beginning of it. And then, you know, I like to, of course, play music as part of it. It's like a ritual, really. You know, of course, there's gonna have to be music. Some sort of music has to play. I don't. It's different every time. It's not
Dance
like
or do you just play it? Do you sing?
what's that?
Sing, dance, or just play it?
Huh. It just depends, man. I mean, it's not like a set way. There's kind of like a path, but it's like sometimes I'll be singing out loud, sometimes I won't.
Now, is
Some,
this all necessary in order to go out with AZD? That like in bold, underlined with AZD? Like what are some things that you got to do in order to go out with AZD? Or if anything, or am I framing it wrong? Maybe I don't have the right.
well, I wouldn't say you have to do those things because I'm sure there's guys that went out with us that don't know anything about that stuff or they're very new. So if there's one thing that I would say you have to do before going out with AZD, it will be checking your attitude and seeing where your attitude is at.
There you go.
If your attitude is off, what do I mean by that? Attitude would be like if you're sad or you're pissed off or someone said something to you earlier, like your uncle said something to you, and like it's still like you're still holding on to that. You have to make sure you correct that before you go out, and you got to figure out how you're gonna do that. There's a million ways that you could do that, and sometimes one's gonna work, sometimes one's not gonna work. Like you got to figure out how you're gonna like. You just got to make that your priority. Get rid of whatever that is before you step out of the house, because you could dress good, you could smell good, you could have Jessica Alba, fucking Jessica Simpson texting you on the phone as you're stepping out of the house. But if you still haven't resolved that problem within you that is giving you that, you know, shitty attitude, you're not going to have a good night. And not only are you not going to have a good night, the person, the people or person that you're going out with, those people, that person, they're not going to have a good night. You're gonna ruin their experience because they gotta babysit you now because you couldn't handle yourself before you went out.
Corey really likes the info that you're giving.
Right on. I don't know who that is. Oh, Corey, cool. Oh, he's in the chat. Right on, man. Yeah, so that would be the main thing, the main focus of your attitude, what your attitude is. Because AZD gave this example the other day. You could have a lot of money, you could be dressed very well, like we said, smell good, successful, multiple businesses, got a brand new 2024 Mercedes Benz, and if you're sitting there moping at the club or at the restaurant, at the bar, or whatever, you're a loser. You look like a loser. You are a loser. You're portraying a loser, even though you have all these things. You have a Gucci belt, Rolex watch, smoking a cigar, but you are giving the vibe, the energy off of a loser.
How is that? How do they know that, or how do you know that?
That's gonna be someone that's moping, like they're sitting there alone like
Oh
this, or
yeah.
sitting in a big group and you're just like this.
Yeah, because
Like
from a
that's
distance,
not.
you
Because
couldn't.
some people be like, "That's cool." Like, nah, bro, that's cool. Like, I'm gonna smoke a cigar and just sit there like this. No, bro, that's not cool. You look like a loser. You look
Yeah,
boring. Like, no one wants to talk
yeah,
to you.
yeah.
You're the
People,
only one in your group not interacting, and
yeah,
everyone else looks like they're having a good time, and you look like a loser, bro. Like
and
a Gucci.
in general,
Go
that's
ahead.
a general thing for guys because in general they think their suits or their cigars or their watches or their cars or that rhymed is going to be that game. And the way AZD teaches, and of course this is coming from the guy that's got 7 or 8, I forget what it is now because I think he just broke up with one because we're moving, whatever. I'm not trying to air out his laundry or whatever, but let's just say 8 super fine girlfriends. That from that guy, his game starts from the approach from a distance. What do you look like? Do you look like you're carrying yourself like a winner? If you didn't know that the guy had a Lamborghini and that he was wearing Versace shoes and a suit that reflected you like a mirror, but you were from a distance, is he holding his body like he's a winner? Is that guy winning or is that guy slap? Like, so guys, they focus on those external items and peacocking features or whatever, but the body language, and of course the way AZD teaches, that's a reflection, and many people would agree anyway, that the body language is a reflection of the mindset, their mentality,
Yep.
where are they at, their state of mind, that's going to be in their body. And so do they look like they're winning? And then of course as you get
Yep.
closer, a person may get distracted by the fancy clothes and the fancy whatever and the fancy this and that. But sooner or later, give it enough time, and the person is going to start reacting to how the person really is. And that's the body language is not how they really are. It's just that is a reflection of their state of mind, dude. Some people have habits in their body. And even though they've changed their state of mind, so now their body has to change and so on. So cool. So these are the things you got to check your attitude before you go out with AZD. And why is that?
Why do you have to check your attitude?
Yeah, why is that so important?
Yeah.
Why do guys need to push their do guys, man, they may not honestly.
Yeah, well,
a lot of the guys watching, let's say there's 100 people watching or whatever, is many of them, they don't have a weekly outing schedule. They're not going out like regularly. They don't have a group of guys that they go out with regularly. Maybe some do. So, what are some things that we could say that would bridge the gap between their experience and what we're experiencing?
Yeah, well, the first thing, David, mentality definitely resonates more than you think, for sure. And just by looking at that example in your mind that Yogi Chris just said, I said, it's like two fighters. Like most of the time, if you watch like a UFC fight, most like 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna be able to tell who's gonna win that fight before the fight even starts. You're gonna be able to tell just by the body language, the way the guy's carrying himself, the way he's breathing, his smile, like his facial expression is gonna tell you whether he's gonna win or lose. And then just look at the fight afterwards. We can tell who won, who lost, just by even if we didn't see the fight but saw the after the match, them walking around or whatever talking. You can tell by how the guy talks, by the way he's walking, by his facial expression, by the way he's breathing, that he won or lost the match without ever having seen the fight. So, yes, your mentality for sure matters a lot more than you think. And why is it so important to check your attitude? Because, well, it's just like we said, your attitude is the most important thing. You can have the suit and everything like that, and that's great. I'm not saying don't wear a suit. I wear a suit when I go out, or I don't wear a suit, but I wear a blazer and a button-up shirt, right? Whatever. And that's great. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't wear a watch. That's not what we're saying. We're saying you can have all that stuff, but if your attitude is shit, then that stuff is irrelevant. that's not gonna get you very far, because your state of mind, if it's in a negative place, it's either negative or positive. It's not in between. It's either you're in a negative state of mind or a positive state of mind. And if you're in a negative state of mind, good luck trying to influence anyone, trying to talk to anyone. Just look at it. If you have you ever been like down in your life, look at the moments where you've been down and remember how difficult it was to communicate with other people and get your idea across, or even just have a good time, right? Now remember a time where you felt really good, like you felt positive, you just won a prize or you won like some competition, whatever, you got some girl that was really hot, whatever, you felt good. Remember how easy it was to communicate and influence and get what you wanted, and just have a good time around that time, like how good you felt.
Yeah, let me
Right.
just
So if you
interject a little thing here because I see
yeah.
Stay Blazing is yeah, I mean it is both. It's both they're attracted to the external things and to the inner. It's not going to be just one or the other. Guys have this illusion that she's just going to like you for you and just for you, and you don't have to do anything and nothing on the outside. Man, that's a real tall order to expect a girl to stick around for a long time in your life, especially if she's quality. Because I mean, someone had said earlier, maybe it was Stay Blazing, he's got a lot to say about when you could pick up and approach a girl or approach and pick up a girl in just sweats. Yeah, well, what's the quality of a girl? Because is it a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10? That matters in this conversation also. So just to be clear about any of the audience members reading those comments. And just real quickly, because there are comments on, I'm multi-streaming to some YouTube channels, but I'd have to go to the YouTube channel specifically to reply to you specifically. So I'm just going to say it here verbally, and then you could keep commenting. To the Riff Gaming, make a collab. Who are you speaking about? We will have AZD on these streams sometimes when he's available. And, I've been looking at different people for AZD to collab with, or ourselves, although we're not the teachers, we're just students. So AZD is very time limited with so many relationships and leading the nation. He's streaming morning and evening almost every day. The morning class, again, everybody go to the link in the bio, and that's $97 a month. Everyday lecture with AZD. So, make a collab. If you have some other ideas about that, then just type that out. Okay, didn't mean to take away from what's
That's fine.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
else?
just what Stay Blazing says. He says when you pick up a girl wearing simply sweatsuits, that's game. If you got to get dressed up to impress, to be able to pick up, it's not you. I'm not getting dressed up to impress. When I dress how I want to dress, and I don't like wearing sweats and a sweater or whatever you're saying. I don't like, that's not my vibe. You know what I mean? But if you want to do that, that's great, man. Hey, that's what guys here do.
Hey,
AZD
shout out
wears
DJ Side Effect. Oh, yeah.
yeah, Saudi side effects. AZD wears sweats and toe shoes. Yogi Chris wears sweats, but they look good though. They're not dressed like bummy. You know what I mean? You can't be dressed bummy, bro. Like if that's what you mean, we're not dressing bummy. We want to dress good. I want to look good. Like that's another part of it. When you dress like shit, you feel like shit. So that doesn't mean you have to wear a suit. But if you're gonna wear a sweat, if you're gonna wear sweats and try whatever you're gonna wear, you just gotta look clean. It's gotta be ironed, and you gotta smell good. So that's a big aspect of it too, is how you're dressed, and that could mean anything. Just clean and a nice style obviously matters. If you dress like a fucking little retard from like first grade that you haven't graduated first grade, then you're not gonna be really getting any chicks, bro. Like you look like an idiot.
Let me ask, because I just have 8 more minutes because I got to take something to my girl.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So you'll be going out with the top player on earth tonight, and tonight,
yeah.
in San Jose. You've been living with him for 3.5 years. You've been living in this town for 3.5 years. You're about to leave this town, probably, possibly, quite possibly forever. Now, what are some things that you will or will not do tonight just to get people an idea of how you conduct yourself? What are some things that you're going to look to be doing and that maybe some other people would do, but that you won't do tonight and tomorrow, your last weekend out with AZD in San Jose?
What are some things that I would do that other people won't do?
Yeah, I see two sides of the coin. Is like, okay, it's your last weekend, your last hurrah here in San Jose before you head out. You're going out with the top player, but it's in the town you've lived in for 3 years, where normally you wouldn't shit on your reputation, but you're about to leave, so you could get away with more. But what are any things in your mind about what you might do tonight and what you wouldn't do that other people might do?
Well, I'll tell you what I won't do first. I definitely won't overdrink and get drunk. I can see somebody doing that, thinking it's like my last hurrah. I gotta have a great time. So I'm not going to drink because that's stupid. Um, I may have a drink or two. I already know ahead of time if I'm going to have one or two. So I won't get drunk. I won't get belligerent, get loud. I won't be like screaming and yelling and shit. I won't do that. Like, woo, it's my last day, last weekend. I won't be doing that. Um, I still will not hit. I won't be hitting on girls. I can see guys doing that because it's like their last weekend here. I'm just gonna hit on everybody.
Why won't you do
And
that?
I don't know. It's not my thing. I won't hit on girls, but I'm definitely gonna go for Instagrams and phone numbers for sure. A lot. I'm gonna do it strategically, but I won't. I won't be hitting on girls.
Well, hitting
And
on
that's
girls is a strategy.
hitting on girls is a strategy for sure. But it's not my strategy. I don't do that.
Mhm.
So because I don't know. I may be back here soon. I don't know. Who knows what could possibly happen. So I definitely don't want to ruin my relationship with anybody here. And especially because we built such a strong connection with the owner of the place, who's very well connected in, of course, in that environment and just in life, because he owns multiple restaurants in this area. So I wouldn't want to ruin your reputation with him because it's taken a long time to build that, and so I won't be hitting on girls. But what I will be doing, is just going for getting girls' contact information, just staying connected with everybody now that we're expanding to Vegas. And our modeling agency is a great part of that because we still have the agency here. We're just
Mhm.
expanding to Vegas, so
Yeah.
that's a
Okay.
perfect way to stay connected with everybody. Like a perfect reason to.
And I just want to shout out Rico over here on TikTok is asking, do you have any products on going deep in conversation with a girl? Besides the fact that all the products and programs have that element to it, because AZD, that's what he's known for. It's a top player. So it's literally like what he thinks, eats, breathes, drinks, shits. It's seduction. But as far as like some specific scripts or dialogues or topics or things like that, we do have various products that have kind of taken highlight clips from different events that AZD's given. So just message the account. They're not that expensive because compared to the other things, they're just little side projects collecting some intimate questions or some infield recordings of him on the phone or something. So I'll get you something like that. It'll be like probably 50 to 100 bucks or something like that. And everybody, of course, we're about to end it because I got to go in about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. Jump on the classes. It's only $97. The price will raise at some point. The camps now, they will raise because we're going to Vegas. I mean, it's going up. Just a guy today signed up for residency to live. You can live with AZD now. We have to know you, so you got to be in the morning class. We got to see you showing up. But it's available. Angel is his name. He has been around for like 6 months. So within 6 months of signing up for the program, he's coming to live with AZD for 2 weeks. And us. He's going to live with all of us. And we've all learned how to live with AZD. So being around us will help you learn how to live with AZD, which will help you in game because he's got the way of living that's very attractive to the highest attraction women, to the most attractive women, in a way that's so beyond belief that you could have 5, 6, 7, 8 super fine girlfriends without using tons and tons of money. That's not what it is. And living such a fulfilled life where you're not living with the girls, you're not feeling drained all the time. You're living like a player, but you have some deep relationships, loyal, ethical, the kind of girls that you would want, not just in looks, but how they conduct themselves around you and what they do with their life, how they make money, what they like. It's very, very good. And we've studied a lot of guys out there. We've looked at a lot of guys. And so I just wanted to put that out there for everybody. Okay, 10 a.m. Pacific. What time will it be in UK? Well, you got to look it up. I think it's 9 hour difference, but just at Pacific time zone. So there are guys in UK that show up live, but also you get all the recordings. So 30 classes a month. It's every day. You get all those recordings in the members area. So it's still worth $97 for sure. That's in the bio. You could sign up for that. It's called AZD Mastermind University. Okay, I'll give any closing words to Sultan. We got a couple minutes.
No, I don't have any closing words. Just let's see. Not at the top of my head. Let's see. Oh, well, share our content. If you guys are watching on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you're watching from, just share whatever video you saw that inspired you to, connect with this account. Share it on your story and tell some friends about it. And, you're getting all this free content, that could be your exchange as of right now, just to share and promote the page. It's much appreciated always.
Now this is really interesting. There's one last comment I see here. I like this because Corey's been, commenting left and right. Good
Yeah.
question. What's the best way for a man to build a solid foundation so a woman feels secure, a quality female feels secure? So there's definitely going to be levels of security. And, you know, from the beginning, I mean, it's in your character. It's you conduct yourself like we're all very honest people, but we also know games. So it's meaning the seduction is in an illusion, in a fantasy. You're not like flirting or things like that. It's not literal statements. So there's this two-facedness, and not in a negative way, but it's what seduction is, that you got to be able to tell lies, but in a way that's pleasurable, at the same time living a very honest and clean life, because that's what'll make the girl feel secure. And when she sees that, you could be all honest and you know, straightforward, or you know, straight in your ethics, but she doesn't get that. She might think that you're two-timing her, or you're evil, or you got negative intentions. So it's all about her perception, the other person's perception of you. But living an integrated life, you know, the reputation you have among your brothers, your family, the relationships you have with your mom, your dad, and other family members, just how other people treat you and how you treat them. And not everybody's equal. So an outsider, I don't care how they treat me, and she knows that. But an insider, a guy that's close to me, she knows how that he treats me. And she knows how my girlfriend treats me. And she knows that I don't give a fuck about how any other girl treats me. I don't even care how my girlfriend treats me, but you know, at the end of the day, I can use that because she's a reflection of me. So as she sees pre-selection, or as she sees social proof from other guys and the girls, then that's how she'll feel secure, because reputation is very important for her. But not only that, safety is very important for her. So it's almost like a living testimony when you have friends or family that treat you right, that, or you have cut ties for reasonable reasons, and how you treat them shows your character. That's how the girl, in my opinion, is going to feel secure. But all of those things that I said. So, man, that was exciting. Thank you, Sultan, for opening up your Instagram for these streams, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future again. We'll stream again tomorrow, talking about our last night out with AZD. You know, in San Jose. It's our last night in San Jose, and I'm sure we're gonna have big plans. After going out with AZD tonight, we'll have more things to talk about, also some juicy subjects. And that's all I have to say for that. So see you on the next one. Os.